Morrowind, we are continuing the adventures of Solnath, the High Elf Battlemage bodybuilder born under the sign of the warrior who can fight. I mean, he's survived a couple of fights, which is fairly incredible. And I believe last week we ended up... I opened a bank account. That's what I did. I opened a bank account. We're not going to make a whole lot of money from that, but choo choo. Oui, c'est ça. And I see I haven't set a goal for this guy because we tried to think of something and we couldn't, right? We've joined House Telvanni, we've joined the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild. And I think our goal is level 2, a whole level 2. I mean, this character is a survivor, an elder, an ancient, and all of that. Pretty incredible, I know. I am peckish, and I have nothing to eat, but I have 31 septims. I believe we can go and get ourselves dinner. Yes, I will train you, Grim, so you will become very strong and you will not die instantly. You have all of my ingredients. Do I have anything that I can... Nom nom nom. No, gold cannet is not healthy, contrary to popular belief. Let's just go and get a meal somewhere. We are friends, it's true. Let's just chat. I am. You've enjoyed this conversation? Finally. I'm not even bare chest. Yalka Pasca, hello, welcome on in. Sick of Mike, you're back. Hello, delicious, right? Drain Else, I think, is the main effect. So let's get a proper meal. And we need to decide what we want to do. Now, last week we went to Balmora because we know we can get a bunch of quests, level up a little bit, all the way to level 2, make a bit of money, get some gear. We've done that. This week it is time to leave Balmora. Simple as that. We have to leave Balmora. House Telvanni sent us to Nizis or to Telbranora. Fighters Guild sent us to Caldera to kill Telvanni agents. We're not gonna do that because we're House Telvanni. And the Mages Guild, they want me to collect the guild dues. Okay. So the way I see it, we have 3 options. Option 1, Telbranora. It's a long trek and I don't have the money to get a boat. Yalka Pasca, you've been checking language learning content on Twitch and came across your German learning stream. Was curious to ask a few questions if you don't mind. No, absolutely happy to discuss everything, including learning German. Go for it. Skink, welcome back. As you can see, obviously, today we're playing Morrowind. Tomorrow is going to be the German live stream again. But sure, shoot your questions. So option 1, Telbranora is a long trek, can't afford a boat ride. Option number 2, Nizis. Might not be able to afford the Sil Strider, but I think we can make a bit of money to make that happen. Option number 3, go somewhere around here and do the Mages Guild. Yep, I teach French myself, correct. So, Telbranora, Nizis, Mages Guild quest. I will go with whatever happens in the chat first. Safest is Nizis, more dangerous is Mage's Quest, and most dangerous, Children of Radiation, is Telbranora. Yeah. Telvanni, right, it is. Let's go. Am I ready? We're gonna need a little bit of food. I have soul gems. Hooray for me. I do have potions. That's what I got from the Mages Guild and the Thieves Guild. My belongings are all at the Fighters Guild. We'll have to decide what we want to take. Oh, we can get a hot meal at the Fighters Guild. That we have to cook ourselves, but... Oh well. Elle est une bonne prof, bien sûr, elle m'aide avec mon français. Avec plaisir. You like the software to deal with modern systems so your rig antiquated hardware is less of a problem? Hey, Marx! Welcome back. I was disappointed. I was really keen to try Dune Awakening. Can I have some food, please? Thank you. Alright, we know that is going to take a while. I am going to risk running to my bedroom. Oh, I put muck on my bed. Actually, no, that's my bed. I'm cool. Do I have another scroll of intervention? Yes. That's my getaway options. Here, those are my good restore health potions. We'll keep them. Do I try to brew a few potions before I go? Honestly, with the ingredients that I have, I won't be able to brew anything very good. Do you have a sort of roadmap for your German journey? Like, how much time do you expect to spend on, let's call it, learning the basic format before switching to videos or show maybe some kids anime and stuff like that? So I don't really have a very specific plan. I mean, I know what I want to do, but I don't have like a curriculum or a courses that I want to follow. First thing is, I don't have a deadline or a need to learn German other than the why not? So what I'm doing is the live streams, and that's where I get to speak. Other than speaking with AIs on apps, which is good for what it is, but I get to make sentences. I do a little bit of Duolingo, like I do a few apps every day, but that's just to make sure I do a little bit of something every day. As for watching shows, I already do that. When I see a film in German on Netflix that look like it might be okay, I watch it with the English subtitles. Without them, you've probably heard some of the German live stream. I'm an absolute beginner, so subtitle is fine. I should watch Dark. That's a film or a series. It's not the best reason to learn the language, if you ask me. I completely agree. In terms of motivation, I do have motivation. The first one, I'm a teacher, and I've been a teacher for nearly 30 years, and I feel it's important to be able to put myself in my students' shoes. So that's a little bit of a reminder of how it is to learn a language that is completely new and that is very different from your own language. It's a bit of a lesson of humility as well. Also, because I'm trying the different apps, that's useful for me in my job, because students say, oh yeah, I tried this app but I didn't like it, and I can recommend another one if I feel it's a good fit for them, or if they ask me, oh, what do you recommend, then I can make suggestions based on not just looking at the apps but actually using them, trying to learn with them. And then currently we live in Switzerland, where German is one of the official languages. It's slightly different, but it's good to be able to be at least polite with the people around me, even though most of the people around me speak English. That's why I don't really need German. So I do have lots of reasons, but it is true that if you know you need to achieve a level for an exam by a certain date, then your motivation is a lot greater. Do you feel like watching in German with English subtitles? That's a question I get quite often from my students. Yes, it absolutely helps. Your brain does the work for you. It's not like after watching the film I go, wow, I know so much more German now. Though occasionally, like, I would go, ooh, I understood that, and that feels good. But my brain sort of absorbs, you know, just the way a child would learn a language, just by hearing it. Obviously, watching a few films is not enough to learn like a child, and I don't have the brain of a child anymore, so it doesn't learn as fast. But yes, it is definitely useful. Obviously, the more you do it, the more benefits you get from it. And I would definitely get more benefit watching something in German with English subtitles than if I try to watch it in German with German subtitles, because in German with German subtitles, I will spend the whole hour or 2 hours, if it's a film, very frustrated, being lost, not really following the story and guessing things out. Like, I'm not going to enjoy the experience. And as far as I'm concerned, any opportunity I have to enjoy the language I'm trying to learn is a good opportunity. And definitely your brain does the work. Like, you pick up some words. I watch a lot of Turkish for beginners to try and get an ear for German before I worked in Luxembourg for several months. It didn't help very much. Then, like, I don't have a really good ear, and I realized that when learning German, because I listened to the thing and I said, like, what was it? The number 10. For me, it was zin, like E, but multiple people told me, no, it's zin, like a E, and my ear were lying to me. So I don't have a very good ear. So maybe you would have benefited more from a different approach also. I think it's a matter of finding what works for you. Play Morrowind in German. I couldn't. Guys, I couldn't play it in French. It was so weird. It really felt alien, but not Morrowind alien. Just weird. And also I couldn't have all the mods that I wanted to play with. So I tried. I tried to play Morrowind in French. I couldn't. If you were game for Morrowind in French, it would have to be nearly vanilla, and that's also a whole experience, a whole level. I have not played Dune Awakening, if that's the one you mean. Dune Awakening I have not played. I wanted to, my computer cannot handle it. I have played, obviously, the original Dune. That's one of the first games that I played on an Amiga with my brothers. Loved it. After that, I read the books, loved them even more. That's how my whole love story with Dune started. And that was before, you know, the recent films that we've seen. I don't know that Turkish and German are very similar either. My French coworker told me that they appreciated my attempt at French, but please stop, I was hurting them. Yeah. It was a German sitcom, I see. Do you know how much time you devoted to German so far? Okay, I've been doing the live stream for about 4 or 5 weeks, so that's 1 to 2 hour weekly, and it's quite intensive. And then I do 5 to 10 minutes every day with the apps. And with the apps is really the time where I go rather quickly with things, whereas during the stream it's when I really try to work out how the language works, rather than tapping on the correct answer and being happy that I chose A and the answer was A. So putting all of that together, I don't know, it's quite a lot. On Duolingo, I've got more than 400 days of doing German, but the bare minimum, typically. Can't stand the ads. Anyway, like I've been learning for a year at a rate of 5 to 10 minutes a day. Without, I made a video on Duolingo because I had some criticism for it. But the truth is, Duolingo was not the best teacher and I was not the best student. Like even if you, or unless you have a great, yeah, maybe something like that. But again, it's not like, oh, I feel I'm really old school, but if I don't have a pen and a paper to write down what is important, then I'm not sending a signal to my brain, this is important, I want you to try and remember it. And so when I do the apps, of course, you learn something, but it's lacking the work you should do afterwards, where you go, this is what I've learned, we say it like that because of this. Exactly the sort of thinking I do during the live stream. That's why I enjoy it, because I express ideas on how I think it works, and there's always somebody in the chat to tell me yes or no, you're completely wrong, that's not how it is. Like, I think to learn a language you need to internalize it, and just doing the apps for me is not enough. So yeah, I hope that answered some of your questions. Happy to answer more, but also we have to do something in Morrowind. My approach is completely the opposite. I feel like if I write stuff down, my brain goes, no need to remember that. Oh, interesting. But that's exactly why learning... Max, I'm reading your comment. I'll get to it. Learning anything, I think, is really much an issue of learning how you learn. Which is why I never tell anyone, not even like because I'm a teacher, I never tell anyone this is how you learn. Like, I make it a point to always ask my students what they've learned before, how they've learned it, what worked, what didn't work for them. I've lost my companion. Grim? I think Grim realized we're going to tell Branora and almost certainly death. And Grim is like, nope, I'll stay here. It's nice. I think I have time to tell Grim to follow me. Buddy, did you get locked to close? I think it's the door.
Friend, how does the day greet you?
Well, it would go much better if you followed me. Let's go, Grim. Well done, buddy. Well done. Yes, I need to be scolded the German way with brutal honesty. That's genuinely what I enjoy. Yes, we are walking to Tel Branora because we don't have money. Or maybe something a little less deadly. Walk to Vivec, pick up all the flowers we find, sell the flowers in Vivec, and hope that that's enough to get us a single ticket to Tel Branora. I am not going to wait to 100% because I'm gonna burn it. This grill sucks, it's bad quality. So maybe walk to Vivec and then take a boat. Do you consider Morrowind a good language learning game? The vanilla version, obviously, because mods normally don't bother with multi-language support. I would say that, and that's going back to the films, anything you enjoy in your target language is a good way to learn. You will probably learn more with a game like Morrowind that has so much to read. But if you hate Morrowind and you only like, I don't know, Minecraft, then you're gonna learn more from Minecraft, even though potentially it has less content, language content. So yes, I feel at this point as a beginner. No, sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Morrowind in German. might work for me. It would mean that because I know the game so well and I don't read the dialogues anymore in English, I can play the game without reading a lot of it. So in that sense, I was thinking I wouldn't learn so much from Morrowind in German. I'm gonna walk while I'm talking. However, because I know what it says in English, seeing the sentences in German, then I could look at it. It would take a lot of time, but I would go, oh, I see, this word must be that, and that word, and you know, I would be able to work some things out. What is that? Flint. I would be able to work some things out, but I would spend a lot more time thinking about what I read rather than playing the game. Then again, why am I complaining? We've been live for 20 minutes and I have walked 200 meters in game because I was busy talking this whole time. So it's not like my Morrowind adventures are incredibly action-packed to begin with. So it could work that way. If it wasn't Morrowind, if it was a game that I don't know as well, playing that game in German, especially if it's a game where the story and the lore is very important, then I would simply miss out too much on the game. Because my German is just not there yet. However, once you hit an intermediate level, whatever the language you're learning, once you get to an intermediate level where you can have simple conversations, like day-to-day conversations, that's when watching films or playing games without the subtitles really becomes useful, because you're able to understand half of it and your brain works out how to understand the whole, which is a real-life skill. Morrowind wouldn't be that game for me. German is not good enough, or rather a game like Morrowind wouldn't be good enough for me. My German is not good enough to work out anything else. We are going to Vivec. Wait, Vivec is south. Why am I going north? So I guess we're going that way, or getting to the lake and then going around the lake. Didn't they rename the game assets in the German and French version making mod? No, it is, there's actually a bunch of people. What's the name of the people for French? La Confrérie des Traducteurs. And they've translated a bunch of games, a bunch of mods, sorry. They also have a tool that is going to automatically replace the name of the cells, for example, because they are completely different. Ghostgate, no. Pelagia, Vivec, yes. Of course, it's very tempting to just go, yep, but no, because we have never been to Vivec, so we're walking. How much more time do you feel you'd need to study before you can benefit from a Morrowind playthrough in German? I mean, for a playthrough not to be torture. I feel I would need a little more, and with Morrowind specifically, there's also the fact that the lore is very specific. I need to pick flowers, yeah. The lore is very specific. And maybe the words you're gonna pick are not exactly words that you need. Do you want to finish him off? Well done. Well done, Grim. I remember when I was young, it happened a couple of years ago. I was young then. But obviously, as a teenager, I played games... That's a plane. As a teenager, I played games in English, and even before I started learning English, and we were able to work it out, and we did learn quite a few words from English. Play, game over, try again, fireball. And one of these words was dodge. And I vividly remember as a teenager, but I was older, maybe 16, and I was in the UK, and I used the word dodge. Oh yes, we can dodge it. We can dodge it. And they looked at me, dodge? I said, yeah, dodge. Oh, you mean avoid? And I felt so stupid for using a word that I had since the beginning of my English learning experience, and it just didn't work. That hurt my feelings a little bit. So that's the problem with playing video games. Maybe if I played something more modern, then I would have words that are a little more modern. I don't know. Yeah, that Kwama Forager shouldn't have. It works. Yes. I'm gonna leave it there. Alright, we've actually reached that point before. There's another one. I need 2 casts of my spell to get rid of a Kwama Forager. And that's a spell I can reliably cast anytime. Before I set out, I should have visited the Mages Guild to make a stronger version of that spell. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Because for serious battles, we have that. And since my robes give me magicka, like, I will never run out of a bound battle axe. The vocab might not be the most common stuff, but I feel like no word is actually useless. No, at least it was useful to play the games. It still is, because it's still part of the games I play. Dodge, parry, counterattack. That's a bit more modern. No, it's never useless. It's just teenager me, who was a little self-conscious about speaking English, felt a bit silly. I remember someone telling a story about knowing vocabulary word like sepulchral way sooner than their classmate because of playing D&D. Yes, D&D you would get the same sort of thing. Yeah. Is that a book that I dropped because I was overburdened? Very likely. I'm still picking up flowers. Grim will be carrying them. So is that something I dropped? Or Old Dwemer book? I think it's something I dropped. We were here and I had to run. What was it? Oh, we had the smugglers that attacked us. And we totally survived. Roundful, welcome on in. It is beautiful Morrowind again. I mean, beautiful, yes. I don't have a huge amount of graphic mods, but that's pretty. No, he's not. That's pretty. We are pretty also. Yeah, that's exactly where we were attacked. But we survived. Okay. I don't know if the blue canid flowers are worth anything. My mercantile is probably 5, so I don't even know the value of things. Shopkeepers are delighted when they see me enter and go like, oh, we're gonna make money. I am alternating between running and walking, so if there's a fight, I am not completely exhausted. But also, if I walk all the time, it just takes too long. I really like the way you answer. I tried asking other people similar questions about time required for learning and playing video games, but it's usually everyone is different and so on. I know that's why I'm asking a particular question. I mean, it's true. It is true. And it comes down to understanding. For me, I would put enjoying the activity at the top of the requirements to learn anything. There's the Shrine of Kumu that we never reached. Maybe picking up rocks is not the best idea if I want to make a bit of money with the things I find. Well, thank you very much. Right back at you. How are you doing? We have no interest in praying here. We don't care for the tribunal. I think with this guy we did not really decide. When we prayed, yeah, we prayed to the great maybe. But our Altmer Bodybuilder Battlemage is not very religious. Maybe he's just spiritual. What do you mean?
I have you.
Is there a bat? Companions are noisy, but they have a way of spotting things that want to attack me. Surely not this person. This person looks very friendly. Nearly overburdened. Grim, I'm gonna give you more ingredients. Yeah, doesn't make a huge difference. I'm also giving you my hammers. The books I got from the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild. The book I found on the road. You can have a shirt. No, don't mention it. I've only worn it for a few days. Yes, yes, yes. And I think I saw the creatures up there. Hello, please. Might you be of some assistance? My friend is lost and I'm very worried about him. Yes, my friend Edris Oriel and I were traveling to Vivec. As am I. Good thing I'm probably on the right road. Or it's something like, I'm no expert, I don't know how much time one needs to practice before trying a video game. I know that too, I'm not looking for an expert opinion. I have that one already. I'm curious to know how much the commonly expected figures differ from mine. It really depends, and the same thing with watching the films, right? It depends what you expect from it. If you want to learn a lot from a film, or a video game, or a book, or a podcast, then it means that you have to be actively trying to learn, like really listening, maybe posing. I'm gonna pose there because this is a tough fight. Maybe posing so you have time to listen to it again and go and repeat the word, whatever works for you. For me it would be writing them down. That's active learning. If it's enjoying the experience while getting some German or whatever language, it's not the same and you're not gonna get the same results. Yes, okay. All right, this is battle axe time. No, battle axe time. Did I fail? Okay. You're stuck here? You want to stay stuck?
I have you.
That was me? That pathetic... I wondered if I was dying. There should be a second one somewhere. Because mating, there's one. Boing. Okay, that was easy. I found a very old mod called Kumu Monastery and I love it. Adds another point of interest. I remember Kumu Monastery. It's very nice and it would be right around here. I like the mood of it also. Dans mon pays, il y avait récemment une grande manifestation à Londres. You would say en followed by a feminine country like en France. But in front of cities, à Londres. C'était l'un de Tommy Robinson et ses partisans. Peut-être les grands changements dans mon pays bientôt, c'est un peu effrayant. Mais c'est aussi l'Europe et peut-être le monde entier. D'ailleurs, je parle de politique et c'est une chose interdite dans quelques chaînes ici en direct. Oui, c'est un sujet délicat. Mais de manière générale, je suis d'accord, il y a des choses inquiétantes. Okay, now we got the Kagoutis. We just need to find the friend now. Shouldn't be too far. You remember it as well? It's a good mod. I don't remember if it was quested or not. I think it wasn't, but then again, maybe I just didn't play it long enough to find the quest. Mercury Bard, did you find any quests with that mod? You don't think either? Hello? Friend? I think that's him. Well, you really ran away, didn't you? I was so anxious the hair turned white. Oh, thanks heavens you found me. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't shown up. I've been trapped here by some Kagouti since my friend and I were separated. I know all about it. Let's take you back to your friend. There are a few tiny quests, but it's mostly aesthetics. Still, it's a good mod, and surprisingly enough, it does not conflict with other mods. Grass, obviously, because... but then maybe the grass is hidden in the buildings. Maybe you don't even have that much of a conflict. Do you... I'm trying to remember, do you have grass mods on your game? Maybe not. Do we want to skin the Kagoutis? I think we will. There's still something to fight? No? Maybe a bat? Or a cliff racer somewhere? Maybe I can't because I'm in combat. Yes, here's a bat.
Fool. Die.
Guys, you need to kill the bat, otherwise it's not gonna go away.
Fool.
See? Like so. Don't think I can skin them though.
Oh, Edris, you damn fool. I was worried sick about you.
Imagine if they'd got me. My book on their mating habits would never have seen the light of day.
Oh, I'm sure Kagouti scholars all over Tamriel would mourn your passing. But let's get you home, old friend.
Well, that's a mission well done. Did I get anything for that? Not money. I found your friend. Damn. Okay, thank you. Nice. I have not played. Actually, I started playing their total conversion of Skyrim and Daryl, and I should get back to it. Why didn't I finish it? I think maybe the story didn't grab me. I haven't tried the Oblivion one, and I haven't tried the Morrowind one either. Neb had played it and he had translated the books. He had done a lot of work to make it work in English as well. What do you think? How big of a difference is there difficulty-wise for a gamer between playing a game they already know and like a relatively text-heavy one like Morrowind played once or more and watching a show? Maybe even not the hardest one in terms of language. I would say the game is easier. Simply because you can pause, you can process. You can pause, you can go back, you can check things. I suppose if you're watching on Netflix, then it works as well. If not, then I would say a show is maybe a little easier, especially if it's in a modern time settings, because you're more likely to have words, and I'm not saying words that are necessarily more useful, but words that you're more likely to hear in a normal conversation. Then again, I'm sorry, I can't give you a straight answer, it seems. Then again, if you're watching a show or a film, the language is going to be more colloquial than the things you've learned, so it's good to train your ear with that. But that's going to add difficulty because it's not what you've learned in the books, for example. Whereas in a game, you have voice actors, and normally they articulate more than people just talking and probably talking fast like this, and you never know, but that's so... I'm sorry, it's gonna be an answer you don't like. It depends, for the reasons that I've mentioned. Something that I do every once in a while, every 4 or 5 years actually, I force myself to watch some French TV reality shows. I don't enjoy them, but I get to hear French as younger people speak it, and for me that's a little update in my vocabulary. So I do that for French, actually, to keep my French, not to keep my French relevant, because I'm not going to use those expressions, or quite often I will find some sentences really ugly, but that's me being old and all that. But yeah, I do that for French. And that's my update, language update. Okay, did I level up? No, but some skills improved. That is good. I'm thirsty, I'm hungry. That is bad. And I never ate, did I? Grim, I gave you my cooked food. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright. We're what? Halfway there? More? Not quite. Alright. Well, I'm glad we reached the same conclusion, even though there are no universal conclusions. Le vocabulaire des petits enfants et ados est un peu bizarre. Skibidi, Riz. Skibidi? Is that French or English? Skibidi. Either way. Last year, I was talking with my niece. She's French. Teenager. And she taught me a new verb. And I had never heard it before. The verb is tryharder. Skibidi is English. Yeah. Le skibidi toilette? I mean, bidet indeed. It's a very, very French thing. Anyway, that word that she taught me was actually an English word pronounced the French way and then spelt in a way that looked French. What do you see? I'm glad you're fighting it. Do you need my hand or you got this? My God, you got this. Or you paralyzed it. Poor bat. Poor bat never got the chance. He was paralyzed, blinded, probably. Had a few things drained. It's always a bat. Honestly, I have considered going in Abbott's mod and removing the bats. Like, they're annoying at night, but also it's realistic, you know. If you don't want trouble, don't travel the roads at night. And with ashfalls, that make things more dangerous. So yeah, we are... This is what? Stendakar's farm. I guess I could add another one. You can tone down background noise a lot in a game, most of the time. That is really good. Also in a game, you can choose to have, a lot of the games will have the subtitles. For example, when we played Witcher, I'm not trying to learn Polish. I don't know Polish. But we played the game in Polish with English subtitles. Immersion. That's, I don't know, it's part of the flavor of the game for me. Right? And from time to time there were words that were similar enough to Slovak. And I would go, huh, I got that. That's something that I really, really enjoy. Maybe one of the things I enjoy the most with languages is when you hear a thing in a language and you can go, yeah, I see why it is like that, because in that other language it works like this, and you sort of make connections, and that's how I learn, or how I remember. And so, yeah, whenever possible, the game in Polish. I think, I'm sorry, Prof, did you say something? Yes, I did see someone porting Morrowind into Elden Rings. Yes, actually the link to the video was posted on my Discord, and I looked at it, and you know what? At first I was like, oh wow, the bloom, the colors, too much, but then. Oh, the animation, smooth as butter, that was absolutely lovely. And I think I would play that. I would definitely play that. The thing that worried me is the guy says, yeah, it's mostly done, I need to work out a few kings, you know, code-wise, and that's his thing. And I need voice actors. And I'm like, wow, if you want to get the whole game voice acted, that is not... Oh, and by the way, there's this other thing that I need to do. It's a big thing. If you look at Skywind, finding the voice actors was already quite the endeavor, and then obviously I am very, very thirsty. I have a bit of water. Is that enough? I'm still thirsty. So if he's trying to get the whole thing voice acted, I think it will never happen. If he's happy with text, then that would work. I would definitely play it. For me, that would be a bit like Skywind, really. It would be the opportunity to play vanilla Morrowind, but in a modern engine. Alright, we're approaching all the farms. And now I need to head south. Otherwise we'd be going directly to Telvanni. Yeah, exactly. That's a very good comparison. So I don't know, but like for me that looked really good. Is there tea in there? There's water. Did I add that? I don't think I did. I did. I added that. So we could rest here. What I'm going to do is, I'm close to the lake, right? I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna add that to the teapot. I'm gonna take the time to brew a little tea, a little midnight infusion. I did not remember that I had put this here. And I'm glad that I can rest here if I need to. But I think I shouldn't have put it here. Because it's not an imperial settlement. The style, the wood is different. We are going to add water. And we're gonna let it boil so it's clean, and then I'll put some heather or something in there. Who dies first loses. That's how it is. Unless you're fighting Spriggans, because they're cheating. I mean, that's a big discussion, isn't it? Because objectively, the combat is not Morrowind's strong suit. But then there are a lot of people, myself included to be honest, who said, no, I like it, it's fine. For me, it's mostly because I cannot play Dark Souls-like games. I just don't have the dexterity and the nerves of steel to play that sort of game. Brew tea. Let's make Kumberry tea. But I understand that the idea of having Morrowind with everything it has to offer and smooth combat, well, that is tempting. Okay, excellent. Thank you for the tea. All right. And if I was going to catch the flu, now I know I won't. I need to really go south now. I guess we'll have to swim a little bit. We're not feeling cold. Do I have... Oh no, there we go. The joys of being a wizard. That's right. No cold, wet feet for us. Yes, I am very familiar with Gothic. I have not played it. Come on, let me go back up. I have not played it when it came out. And then looking at it now, I guess it's a little bit like Morrowind in the way that I added that. No, I didn't. In the way that nowadays, somebody who has never played Morrowind, launching the vanilla game without mods, without anything, for our modern standards, it's not it. Me, I find it beautiful. I love it. But, you know, I love the game and I've loved it for a good long time now. My point is, when I looked at Gothic, and especially the combat, that felt, from what I could see, it looked a bit glitchy. The dated graphics I don't mind too much, but not having any nostalgia for the game, I was not drawn to playing it at all. But I have watched a Let's Play of it. Also, they forced me to play as a guy, and I resented that. It's a small thing. I do have... Do I? Either I have Gothic 2 wishlisted, or maybe I finally got it on Steam, because there's a total conversion of Gothic 2 that I was curious to try also. Do I need to cross the water again? No, I just need to go on that side of it. I can't understand people banishing Morrowind and Gothic for their graphics and yet playing something like Undertale. Well, Undertale is a vibe, isn't it? I don't find it particularly pretty, but it's a vibe. Like, it's part of it's the aesthetics of the game. Whereas Morrowind and Gothic, had they been made nowadays, they would not look the way they look now. I'm not sure I'm making sense. Like Undertale, this is exactly the look they wanted for the game. They could have done something high res, they could have gone for something fancy, but that's not what they wanted. Like, they wanted what they made. If Morrowind and Gothic were made today, would they say, no, that's what we want. We don't want grass. We don't want real-time shadows. You know, I think that's the difference. Grim, there's a rat. Can you deal with the rat or... Grim levels up. Well done, Grim. You learn how to use an axe and mercantile. Honestly, for a bodybuilder who's such a sissy... I'm dying! The pain! Is this part of Vivec? I think it might be from Gates of Ascadia. Bravo Grim pour le niveau! You did good. High five. High 10. Up there. No, Grim is not cool. He's not cool like I am. For one, I'm glad Morrowind was released when it was. Oh, me too. And I'm always curious to see... like Skywind? I'll play it. I kind of suspect I'll go right back to Morrowind. And I think Morrowind sort of hits a sweet spot, especially in terms of modding, where you don't need to be a computer scientist or you don't need to know how to code to be able to make mods. Whereas with newer games, sure, you can pick things up, but it's a lot harder, and then you need voice actors if you want to do a quest mod. I think the technical skill requirements are a lot higher. Give me a second, I'm gonna turn the lights on and I'm going to see if Latte is still outside, because if he's not, then I can close the window and we don't have to hear the trains. And the light. There we go. Undertale, what I like about Undertale is that, as far as I can tell from the gameplay that I've seen, it's a work of love. And so I really appreciate that. There's that. Which is the case with indie games, and I'm glad when indie games are successful. But I haven't played it. I didn't find the aesthetics very appealing. But it's a game I respect. We made it to Vivec! Do I know how to heal? I failed casting the spell, but it didn't backfire, so... we'll try again. I failed casting the spell. I think we can do this. There we go. Oui. La lumière est arrivée. He ain't a husky. No, he was inside. He's actually, I have my cardigan that I was wearing earlier. I put it on the table and Latte is now sleeping on the table on the cardigan. Obviously. Obviously. So I didn't even try to bring him here next to me because he's happily sleeping. I set my standard for game's graphics a long time ago when playing Elder Scrolls 2. I was trying to get out of the tutorial dungeon and couldn't find the exit. Yeah. I'm in the Daggerfall tutorial. It takes me 2 hours every time, and I can only play it if I pick the ebony dagger. Can't do it with a worse weapon than that. And yes, I remember finding the exit, seeing a door, go, but I haven't explored everything else yet, so I went back, and then it was hard to find it again. So that can be difficult, not very readable sometimes. Then that, that's that. I always enjoy the extra cat hair, yes. The extra floofy. Have you looked at Daggerfall Unity? Oh no, everything is closed. Have you looked at Daggerfall Unity? There's a number of mods that improve the graphics